Hi everyone, I'm Cody W3AMG, and today we're going to be opening up the CPS, going over what the different options are, and programming our radio. Awesome, so we're set up here. Now at this point, I'm going to click on the Open button, and we'll go to our desktop. We won't save that. Desktop, and we have the Ultra Code plug. Awesome. Oops. Let's see, make sure we have that there. Ultra Code plug. RDT, okay, should be in there. Maybe I clicked on the wrong one. I believe so. Okay, so we'll go to Open again. And Ultra Code plug. Here we go, perfect. And then UCP. And now at this point, we can select what kind of radio we have. So if you get an Ultra Code plug, you're going to be given options. That way it will work with all of your radios. So we're going to find out, I have an Anytone 878 UV2 Plus. So we'll find it in here, 878. There's 8782. This one looks like the right one. So we'll open that. Now it's going to open that entire code plug into the radio. So we'll give it a second here. Awesome. So now we have the code plug in the radio. We can see 44655, which is our frequency. We set up the SkyBridge to work with that, so we'll be good. We'll be in good shape there. Now there is some basic information we'll need to add. So if we click on the digital tab and then radio ID list, we'll double click here. The radio ID. We want to change this to our own radio ID. So 3152688, and name and call sign. Awesome. We're good there. And then I like to go into optional settings and tweak a few things as well. So we'll go to the power on. We can put our name and call sign in here. Just like that. And you can change other features, like I like having the sub-channel mode off, which it is. You can really do as much customization as you want here, but we'll just leave that alone. Perfect, just like that. Now, let's talk about zones and channels and talk groups and how they all work together. So what are they? So really, channels are what you're going to be seeing on your radio when you're switching through. So if I'm switching through this dial here, I'm going to see these different channels showing up. Now down below the channels, so as we can see, I'm switching through, there's these different channels. Now that's what a channel is. That could be either a talk group you're using through your SkyBridge, or it could be a local repeater. Now down below that is what's called the zone. So if you have multiple zones, which I don't think I have in here, you can scroll through them with the up and down buttons. So channels and zones are really kind of like a zone is more of a folder, so it organizes all your files. And then zones or channels are all of the actual items in the folder. That's how I like to look at it. Now talk groups are more of a digital thing. So you're always going to have a channel if you're talking to someone. Now that channel may be a talk group, or it may be a local repeater. So if I have my radio set up purely for the SkyBridge, I'm going to have lots of different channels that are all talking to the same frequency, but each channel has a different talk group. And that's how it would work with the SkyBridge. Now on the other hand, if I'm talking to a repeater, it could be the same thing, all the same frequency talking to that repeater, but different talk groups. And I would probably put all those into a zone for that specific device so I could keep it organized. Now on the other hand, if I'm just talking to analog repeaters, each of those channels is probably going to be a different repeater. So channels are basically just, each thing has to go into a channel, and then you can organize it with your zones. And talk groups are purely just for DMR and for digital. So we'll have a look at that here. So in the channel section, we can see everything is located here in the channel section. So we can scroll down through this. Everything here. So we have, let's see, in this Ultra Code plug, let's see how many channels we have. Obviously it's spaced out a little bit, but I believe there are over 800 actual channels in here if you get rid of all the spacing. So that's a lot of channels. That would take a long time to produce. And then if we go into zones, we can see we have all these different zones here. So this is how things are organized. So we have our Skybridge zone, which is just the most popular, Skybridge talk groups that people talk on DMR. Then we have all 50 states. And then we have the NOAA weather channels. Excuse me. And then we have different countries. And we actually have, not only do we have those countries, we have different provinces in those countries for certain areas. I know those are in here as well in some of the zones. So there's a lot of different information here and different places you can talk to. It's really cool because instead of just talking to Canada, so if you just program Canada in, you're going to have 12 different areas within Canada you can talk in. So if, for example, I open this up, you can see all these different areas. So the Ultra Code plug is really extensive of being able to talk to people around the world, but this is the basic structure of how it's put together. So that's going to be done with a zone of your organization, and then within a zone, so if we click on this, that's where your channels go, or in this case, talk groups, but we're kind of interchanging them. Now, if we click on contact/talk group, this is where the actual talk groups are. So the talk group is simply the talk group and the talk group number, but you can't simply just talk to a talk group. That's why we have channels. You have to actually put it in the channel. So hopefully that makes sense. We'll have some questions here in a little bit, and if you don't understand that, feel free to ask questions, speak up, and hopefully I can explain it in more detail if I've been unclear about it. And then, so from here, we're pretty much set. There is one thing I would like to do. We'll make sure optional settings, display, perfect. Background picture is custom one. I always like to have a custom background picture. So we're going to go to Tool, Standby Background Picture 1, and then Open Image. We'll just use this one and right to the radio. That'll just make it look fancy like it was. Otherwise, you're just going to have a plain background. Awesome. We are all set there. Now we'll wait for the radio to come back online. Just open up your communication port. And don't forget, guys, if you have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call, 816-532-8451, and press 2, and we will definitely take care of you. If you have questions about a radio, about your existing radio, it's not working right for you, or if you're thinking about getting into it, you want some advice on where to get started, or if you don't have your DMR ID, I know a lot of people have had trouble with that. Some of our guys will actually help you, walk you through the process of getting your DMR ID and your Brandmeister account. So definitely give us a call, 816-532-8451, and press 2, and we would love to help you, whatever you need. And then right now, we actually have a special going on. So during the stream, or in fact, I tell you what, I'll do it for a couple hours after the stream as well, just no longer than that. We're going to throw in a free Bridgecom hat, $25 value, with any Anytone radio or Skybridge that you purchase. So that's really cool. You get to have your very own Bridgecom hat, show your involvement in the ham radio community. We'll throw it in completely for free. Awesome. Here we go. Click OK. And now at this point, we can click the Write to Radio button. Click OK, and then we are going to check the digital contact list. We would typically do that. That way we're going to be able to see everyone out there. Now, I have already put the digital contact list in this radio, so for time's sake, we're not going to check that this time. So just click OK, and it'll import everything. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you learned something from today's video. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell next to it. Make sure you don't miss out on any more great content. That's all I have for you today. I'm Cody, W3AMG 73.